Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We are talking about the new movie, Mufasa, the Lion King. It is in theaters now.
Oh! That's all I'm going to do because I don't feel like doing the rest of that.
Let's watch the trailer.
It's time I tell you a story.
A story! So glad I brought some crickets.
Rafiki, keep going.
The story about a prince who would come to be known as Scar and an orphan named Mufasa. Two brothers who set off on a dangerous journey to find a new home and a new family.
Why are you following us?
I was hoping to find my pride.
My name is Mufasa.
I'm Sarabi.
My name is Taka. He's going to start a new kingdom. Come with us. You don't have anyone.
She does indeed have someone.
That's Zazu, my scout. Don't eat him.
You heard her. Do not eat me. Places to go, kingdoms to see.
Finally, food. If you take my life, you will never find where you are going. Taka, do not eat him. Wonderful. Another we're not supposed to eat.
You expect us to follow this hallucinating baboon? No offense.
We go together. Outsiders! This is not a drill.
There will be one Lion King. We have to carry on. We owe that to each other.
We're trapped. What do we do?
Get ready to run!
Whoa. Okay. Sorry, we lost you there for a second. We have a lot of
You want to stop it and
thunderstorms
come back?
going on,
Okay.
so who knows if that's what's
Who
happening.
cares? You don't need to see that trailer. If it didn't play, we don't know. If you just
It
heard that
played,
loud,
part of it played, and then it stopped, and now we're back on.
if you
Sorry.
hear that loud, that's a thunder going on
Thank you
outside.
for sticking with us. Okay, we're
And if you
talking
didn't
about
stick with
Mufasa.
us, then oh well.
Yeah, how rude.
We're gonna keep going, or we're
Keep
gonna start over.
going. Yeah, keep going.
So somebody may just turn it off at that point.
Now I'm gonna put a comment. Don't turn it off. Let it.
All right. So what we're going in with is a sequel / prequel to the live action. If you want, it's an animated film, technically CGI, but I think they're classified live action of the Lion King. That was a remake of the animated Lion King film. The first one, directed by John Favreau, was kind of almost a shot-to-shot remake of the animated feature, which I know it met with some mixed results with people. I really like that movie. I know it can be a little creepy with some of the real live animals, and I thought it worked great. I don't know why so many people were upset about it, or didn't like it, or felt it missed the mark or something. If anything, and this is the same issue I have with the new movie, I don't think the music works. Now, I'm not talking about the music playing behind characters. I'm talking about the musical numbers. I don't think they fit with the live action element of these animals. That includes the first movie. As much as I know the music is iconic for the Lion King, I love the original Lion King film. I think these work better of ditching the music and just let the dialogue and stuff handle it, because there's great dialogue in the movies. They don't need the songs, and I think that takes the impact away of what they're doing with the live action. That just for me, right? Which is really my only beef with this. What are you doing?
Keep going.
Was really my only beef with this new entry. It's the kind of movie that we really didn't need, but I was glad we got it because I really like this movie.
Yeah, I really like the movie, and I am going to agree with you that some of the songs don't connect. So
I didn't connect with any, even the first movie music. I
No,
don't
the
think
first one, The Circle of Life and all that.
I'm talking about when the animals sing. I'm not talking about the music that plays around them. You know, like the opening Circle of Life song. That's like you singing the backdrop of what's happening in the movie.
Yeah.
That music I'm fine with. I'm talking about when the characters break into song like the standard musical.
Correct.
I don't like those in either one of these movies. To me, it just doesn't fit.
The first one doesn't bother me because it's all the songs we already know, and I think
Yes.
I'm used to it. This one, I'm going to be that one person that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda. And he wrote the music for this one.
Yeah.
He's like Disney Golden right now.
Well, I mean, he's very talented.
Yeah, and there's some stuff I did like and some stuff I didn't, but there's one song in here that just is stupid.
Well,
and it's dumb, and it takes me out of the moment.
I'll disagree on one. I think it's a great song.
I don't think so.
From what it is like, but I think it's a song that would have worked with an animated version of that villain singing it, because it could have come off with the visuals and be like, very. It's like it's a villain song.
Maybe because it also wasn't Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, well, it's a villain song, but it's when Jeremy. It's very much. I can see that song being played off in the same vibe of Jeremy Irons when he does.
If he would sing it, yes.
No. I can see the other guys singing it, but I'm saying with that animation style and the darkness to that style and the kind of a vibe, I could see it working a little bit better. I just don't think it works. But again, I didn't think the worked in the first movie with Scar's song, because I don't think these sing a real life lion or a baboon or whatever you want to talk about. Sing the songs doesn't work for me.
Okay, in general.
Period.
That it works for me. There's just that one song doesn't hit for me, and there's another one that didn't connect. There's a couple of songs like "We Are Brothers" and "I'm Gonna Be Whatever." Those are fine. All of it works except for this one, and there's one other.
Gotcha.
But this one for sure, the song that the bad guy sings doesn't even feel bad. It feels too light.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is when I was listening to it, I was annoyed by it because it starts. There's a great line that the character says. Mads Mikkelsen plays this Kikos, I think his name is, and he's a great character. It's an awesome villain character. These white lions,
and I
he's
love
this big one.
Mads, by the
And
way.
I thought they were great villains for this film, and his voice was booming and it was perfect, and it felt menacing. You felt, even though we know what happens to Mufasa, you felt like these guys are in danger from these people,
Yeah.
But he gives us great line, then he breaks into that song. Whereas on an animated level, I can see him breaking that line and then be kind of like backing up and kind of doing this kind of thing, where he gives like evil sneer and then sings a song.
Yeah,
as
we
opposed
didn't get
to
evil sneer on this.
as opposed to the line and then breaks in the song. And then with the tone of it, it is a lighter song. But I think with the 2D animation kind of darkness, you get that in the eyes, and he becomes more like that, like this kind of villain.
Yes.
Like that song fits that.
A Jafar type.
Yes, because it's like bye-bye something.
Yes.
But if he said it, and he's like bye-bye, that kind of thing, I think would have worked better.
And here's the thing. This is the one thing we have a problem with in this movie.
Yeah, I love the rest of the movie.
The rest of so I'm just telling you, we're picking this one, but the movie is so good. I was crying at this movie.
Oh, I love this movie.
I was blubbering, and the way that the story is told is just very creative. Timon and Pumbaa are there. So everything's there that we like of the other movies, and now we're getting a deeper story, and it's filling in some of the blanks of when we watched the original. We're like, what do you mean?
I mentioned in my review, and we talked about when we watched the original, there's like 3 lines. They're
Scar,
throwaway lines in the
Scar
movie.
says stuff throughout the film. We were like, that's Scar.
Yeah, the throwaway line kind of connects in the first movie, kind of why he's the way he is, and this entire movie is literally based on those few lines.
Yeah, and we get a full story.
It reminds me of Rogue One being based on the opening crawl to Star Wars, and it delivers. It works. It's visually magnificent.
It's beautiful.
It's another movie that showcases how you make animals come to life with CGI.
Because there was that movie we talked about last week,
Craven,
that didn't do a good job with the animals.
Now given they have Disney money, but I understand. But it can be done. But yeah, and I don't even mind. I originally thought with the first movie, am I going to be okay watching live action animals talk?
Yeah.
And it still works, man. It's like
you get into it. I didn't think, I think the first ones that came out a few years ago, which really, I was like, this is going to be so off-putting.
Yeah, you had no interest in it.
Yeah, it was this, but it,
It
was
was
because
Pumbaa, the warthog.
yes, he
Is it Pumbaa?
Yeah.
Or is that Timon?
the Pumbaa
Okay, I'm always confused those two.
is the warthog, but.
But you were like, "Ugh, I don't want to watch
I was
that."
like, that's awkward. But then I think because it's Seth Rogen, it
It
like
matches-
draw me in. I was like, okay,
Well-
singing and dancing about farts. Okay,
Well,
I'm in.
And I knew they were connecting it to the original movie through the flashbacks.
Mhm.
So the movie it's not a spoiler, but the movie is being told by Rafiki to, is it Kiara? Is that her name?
Kiara,
Which is
baby.
the daughter of Simba and Nala.
Yes.
And I got to tell you a funny thing mentally on that.
Okay.
But
is this about Mackenzie?
no,
Oh,
it's
okay.
about the movie. It's funny. But,
Our daughter got all enraged when they had the little.
The lion guard. She goes, that is not part of the canon. She hates that series.
so upset.
Anyway, so it's following her, and they're telling Rafiki's telling her the story because her parents have left for something, and you see them at the beginning,
Yes,
but they
that's
leave
fine.
to go do something, and so he's babysitting essentially, and then Timon and Pumbaa show up, and they're supposed to be
They're
helping
supposed to
babysit,
be babysitting.
and Rafiki is telling the story of Mufasa.
Yeah.
It's like, let me tell you the story of your grandfather, and it kind of fits the
Oh,
tone.
it's so good. Oh, and they do a James Earl Jones thing, and I was
Let me
gonna
tell
cry.
you. Let me tell you. The movie opens with the first thing you see
Yes.
is in remembrance of James Earl Jones.
And I love that they said in remembrance.
Which to me
So
automatically
powerful.
gave the movie relevance.
I was crying just
I
at
was
that
like-
first one screen.
To get an animated type film, to recognize the importance of what he did with that character in
Yes.
both films,
Yes.
and remember him because this movie is essentially about
It's
him.
about him.
You know,
and what he started.
I was like, that came up, and I'm like, I'm in.
I was crying.
You know.
I was like,
But no, I normally I get annoyed by this element of somebody telling a story because I know it's going to be flashing back.
no, but
it
this
worked
was
well.
so immersive. We were in the
Well,
story.
and it did a good job to not flash back in moments where it takes you out of the impact.
Correct.
And then when you get there, there's a whole nother story unfolding.
Yeah.
That's not just an excuse to have them on the screen.
No, it's a really
and it lets
important
us get
story.
some fun with Timon and Pumbaa, some Rafiki fun, but keep it connected to that other film because it's setting up what could be another film if they wanted to, which would be more of a sequel, but still give us something that felt like, why do we need to know the story of Mufasa? We don't really, but this is
But
passing
you
on to the
kinda
grandchild
do.
the memory of the
Yeah.
king and how it got there. So my funny thing, and this is I realized about halfway through I'm such a moron. I'm watching this movie, and was it Sarabi? How do you say her name? Mufasa's wife.
Sarabi.
Sarabi. Okay. So when that character shows up, we know she's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching and they're calling Sarabi, and I'm watching this movie, and I keep going in my brain. I'm like, so I wonder when they change her name to Nala.
That's Simba.
Totally
and Nala.
forgot.
Oh my gosh.
It was about halfway through mentally. I'm like, you stupid ass. That's Simba's wife.
Yeah, that's Simba and Beyonce.
because you get Scar's real name, and so my mind is instantly like people's names are getting changed, right? But the movie is actually the story of three people or three animals, really.
Yeah.
Kind of Sarabi, but not really. She's just kind of in the fold. But it's really the story of Mufasa, the story of Scar, and the story of Rafiki. And I love that they gave like just enough little side story for Rafiki so you understand his crazy and how his bond with Mufasa was as strong as it is when you see them in the original films.
Yeah.
Because there's got to be a story between some people that are that loyal to each other and trust each other.
Well, because we just know their family, but we don't know how.
Yeah.
And so,
but still, when you have somebody like that that's clearly a nut job, but he is like your most valuable confidant and decision maker and this and that in your group. Why?
Yeah.
Why did you trust this mandrill?
Yeah, and it's interesting. Oh, I was crying at that part too. Anyway,
it's a great film, man.
It's
I don't
so
think it
good.
did very well. I think a lot of people are just kind of turned off by some of the live action stuff, and
it's so good.
I know a lot of people also mad at Disney for all the time for whatever.
Who knows?
reason
Whatever
now.
did
But
this
the movie's
week.
fantastic.
It is really good, and you should see it and take all your kids.
I will also say, and I don't know if anybody else had this problem or if you did, when I was watching the trailers, I was sometimes getting lost who was who in the color
Yes.
scheme of the lions.
Yes.
Because I knew there were the white lions, and then there was this one lion that it looked like it was Mufasa at some point, and then I didn't know if it was Scar at one point because it was more of a gray toned. And then I realized once you see the movie, it's way more obvious.
Yeah, like one's a little bit darker mane and a lighter mane.
Mufasa's a little darker in the browns.
Yeah,
where
it's darker
Scar
brown.
is more in the grayish brown tone.
Yeah, so
And
they
then,
distinguish the colors, and then I thought it was. Well, we don't want to spoil all the lions
No,
and
no,
meats,
no.
but like they even some you can tell are older because they have more gray, and
Yeah.
some are younger. So it does actually, you get it.
I will say
have
I did like. I don't know if you caught it or not. I'm assuming you did. But when it cuts to the opening of the film, it's not a spoiler. When you see Simba and Nala, they look older.
Yes,
They got bigger whiskers. Their facial hair is slightly discolored, so they look older. We can tell it's been a little bit
a
longer
little bit.
since that
Yeah.
time. So,
Well, they already had a baby here.
well, they had the baby at the end of the first movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And you also get the story of Pride Rock.
There you go. Yes. So it's great. You need to watch it. Take everyone you know.
I really liked it. If you hate the first one because you don't like the animated, the live action style animation, then you probably won't like the second one.
Get over
But
it.
I like this. I like this. It's an original story. It felt fresh. I think that's one of the things that takes people out of that first one is because you already know that story. But if you can get over yourself and say this can be a real thing too, I think they're both fantastic.
Yeah.
My big issue, like I said, for me with both films is I don't think the music works. The musical song and dance number kind of things. The background music I love, like the epic tribal African style music. That's just the
It's
music that's
beautiful.
with the movie,
It's
and
beautiful.
it's fine. It's just the animals thing. It didn't work for me.
Yeah. We need the grandkid to watch it to see, because we may not be the main audience for some of the songs. Because that's the other thing too. I feel like he writes songs that are catchy for kids to keep singing on purpose.
Sometimes, yeah.
Because you got to sell your merchandise.
But like the songs, even though I'm not a big fan of I think he did all the music for Moana.
Yeah, well, the first one, not the
I
second
thought he worked
one.
on the second one.
No, I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
No, that's why the songs were much different.
But I don't connect with some of those songs at all. Like I think he's very talented. It's just
Yeah, he did not do Moana 2.
Okay.
That's why it had a completely different sound.
See, and I didn't care. I like the movie Moana 2 better, but I didn't care about any of the music in it. So
I love Moana.
I'm hit and miss on my music and even I just don't. I have a major issue. Why does every freaking animated movie come out need to be a musical?
I know.
It's stupid.
I know.
I don't need every cartoon to be a musical.
Okay. Well,
And just because
so
Disney's making
write
a
a
movie,
letter to Disney.
just because Disney's making a movie about a chicken, the chicken doesn't need to sing. Just let him fucking talk. I'm just come
We're
on,
talking
man.
about Disney movies, and you're dropping the F-bombs.
I don't care.
Wow.
This is not paying me.
We are so sorry. Why don't you write? You know what? I'll take you back to that Disney studio thing. We'll
How
drop
about I
off a
just
letter
go to
for
Disney?
Kathleen.
How about I just go to Disney this week and I'll tell them
Let's just do that.
because we are going to Disney
Anyways, tell me about our contest.
and we might do a live show from
Check
there.
out Mufasa, The Lion King in theaters now.
That's right. And we got the same stuff. No, we still got giveaways. Most of the same ones. Last few copies were given out. 4Ks of The Terminator, Joker 2, Blazing Saddles, Interstellar, Watchmen Chapter 2, and the last digital code for Conclave ever.
It was good.
Like in the world. We're the last one. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Just
Coming out at the theater. It is Christmas time is here.
in Hollis, Queens.
Oh, yeah. So coming out on Christmas Day, Baby Girl, the one that is looking hot and spicy with Nicole Kidman, Nosferatu, the vampire, The Fire Inside, the boxing movie, and a complete unknown, a story about Bob Dylan just singing and playing his guitar.
Fantastic movie.
All right, that's it for us. We will see you next time.
Peace out, dogs.